All right, welcome back. It is the Down and Dirty at 1:30 Central, and this is Vishawn Borich. I just want to welcome you today because we did not have a Down and Dirty last week, and you're probably wondering, where did I go? Well, I actually was off the grid, and I'll share more about that. But every now and then, it's good to just get away from technology and go within, spend time with your family, whatever you need to do in order to recharge and reinvigorate your life and your business. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about that today, but really the purpose of today's hangout is to share with you a daily action plan for freedom. All right. So many people have come up to me and they've asked, how are you able to, travel more often? How are you able to, do more with your family, take off when you want, do all these different things that I do in my life and not have to go into a workplace? Because I work for myself. I work for myself on my computer. I also have a martial arts dojo. And I'm going to share a little bit more about that today and how you can create a daily action plan no matter what your interests are so that you can literally build a lifestyle of freedom. All right, so I'm going to flip this around because, of course, I have a slide presentation today. I'm going to walk you through and really help you out today. So let me get that flipped over. All right. Actually, you know what I should do? I should see who's out here. I always forget to do that before I flip my screen. Hey, I see Charlene's there. I see Rich is there. Welcome. Good to see you. So glad that you guys are out there. Wow, what a great week that we had last week. And I'll be sharing some with you guys too as to what went on. But I'm glad to see you guys here live. And for those of you that haven't logged in and you are watching me live, go ahead, log into the chat roll down below, and that will get you access so that you can comment and share and introduce yourself. And if you're watching it even as a recording, feel free to log in and comment down below so that I know you watched this and that you got some value. Of course, if you have questions, I will answer those. I may not answer them right away, but I will answer them as quickly as I can as soon as I'm done with the live portion of the Hangout. Awesome. All right, so we're going to be talking about a daily action plan for freedom. And before I get started, I want to express, what freedom really means. And I'd like you guys to do that too. If you're here live, what does freedom mean to you? When somebody says freedom, that they live a freedom life, what does that mean? If you feel like commenting, put that down below. I'll share what my personal viewpoint is on freedom, because I think it is different for everyone. There's some similarities, obviously, but to me, freedom means being able to do what I want in the time frame that I want, with who I want, whenever I want, okay, and wherever too. So it gives you flexibility. Freedom to me means not having to report to somebody else if I don't have to, okay? It means if I want to take a vacation, I don't have to ask somebody for permission to do that, okay? It means if I want to go and buy something for my family, I don't have to struggle in order to be able to afford that. It means not worrying about money. It means being abundant. It means having good health. Freedom is being healthy as well. It's not being constrained to a life where you just aren't able to have the energy to do the things that you really love and to be the best version of yourself. Freedom to me it's an incredible, powerful word that really so many people take for granted. They forget that we are meant to be free. No point where it was any of us ever meant to be stuck in a routine based on someone else's demands. But I think we have been trained, and I know that we're getting kind of deep here, but I think as a society, we've been trained to, follow rules, follow instructions, go to school, go to college, get an education, which education is important, don't get me wrong. But it seems to be it's catering most people not to think for themselves and truly live out their real purpose, but to work for somebody else and follow somebody else's dreams of freedom. So not that that's wrong. Some people, that's what they want to do. So I just want you to know, if you're one of those that would rather work for somebody else and have somebody else tell you exactly what to do with your life on a regular basis, and just to follow that with a yes ma'am, no sir attitude, then this today's presentation is really not for you. And don't feel badly about that. This is not for everybody. But for those of you that believe that freedom is so much bigger than that, and that your purpose in life is so much greater than being structured in how you live your life, then this is why I put this presentation today. I put it together to help you see that you can, in fact, obtain freedom if you know some simple actions that you need to take daily in order to achieve the lifestyle that you dream about. And I don't care what lifestyle it is that you dream of, you have the capability of achieving it if you take the simple action steps that I'm going to be sharing with you here in just a little bit. Okay? All right, so let's dig in. First, I wanted to share a little bit about what inspired me today to do this, and that is, this is a quote. I don't know who actually it's quoted from. This was recently shared with me by somebody at a conference, and I love this. It says, "One reason that so few of us achieve what we truly want is that we never direct our focus. We never concentrate our power. Most people dabble their way through life, never deciding to master anything in particular." And if you look at the words that are bold here, focus, power, master. So that's what you should be doing in your daily life. You need to focus your power, your energy on mastery, on mastering whatever it is that excites you. And that can change. Don't ever feel like you're stuck in a pattern that you have to be this because your family was it, or maybe you had somebody tell you needed to be in this career, or you needed to do this with your life. Don't ever feel stuck there, because I believe our lives are so much greater that we can be masters of many things. But I do believe that if you truly want to be a master in anything, you have to dedicate a portion of your life to focusing all of your energy in that direction. Okay, so if you want to have freedom, like financial freedom, that would be a good example. If you want to have financial freedom, then you need to focus your energy on mastering finance, mastering how to manage your finances, number one, and how to obtain income much more rapidly than you would if you were working an hourly wage job. Does that make sense? So whatever it is you want to master, and you can master literally anything, choose that. Choose what it is that excites you or gets you curious. Focus your energy, and you will find that you will achieve that. And because once you become a master or an expert in the field, then you have something that other people want, which is marketable, and you can charge money to teach others how to do that. That's really how it works. It's learn something new, do it, okay, actually take action and make it profitable, and then teach others. So learn, do, teach. I know many of you have heard those words before. If you're brand new to that, that's really what making income is all about. You learn something new, you do it, and then you teach it to other people. Okay. All right. So with that said, let me share with you what I was doing last week. This is a photo that we had shot at the Reunion Tower in Dallas. We went a lot of places. We were actually gone for 9 days. My family and I, that's me with a funny crown on my head, and then my husband, Ron, my oldest son, Ty, and the youngest son, Jack, with with his shield there for Captain America. And this is just one part of our journey. We did some road tripping. We thought that would be a fun way for the boys to see more of America. And so that's what we did. We just traveled around. At one point, this is my husband and I, we ended up on a yacht in Galveston Bay. So this is with my family. My mother and my father have a yacht down there. So we were able to go down there and spend some time with them, go out on the boat, just enjoy our time there. And I want to express to you that, the things that I share with you here on this hangout, I share it because I come from a long lineage of entrepreneurs. My mother's an entrepreneur. My father is an entrepreneur. My biological father's an entrepreneur. My brother's an entrepreneur. So I have a lot of people that have influenced me in my life. My grandfather definitely was probably the one that spurred us all on, was a strong entrepreneur. So I've learned so many lessons in my life on how to be successful in whatever it is that you choose to do with your life. And my mother, and I want to share this before I move on to the next slide. My mother, I remember when she was about 40 years old, and she's in her 70s now. I hope she's not watching that. She never likes me to disclose her age. But when she was in her 40s and I was a young girl, I remember her telling me that she was going to have her own business, and one day she was going to be able to purchase a yacht because she loves being on the water and she loves doing that. And we all kind of chuckled because at that point in our life, financially, nobody was really doing very well. And my mother was a struggling journalist, a writer, and we just, we thought, wow, that's a really ambitious dream. I'll believe it when we see it. And our mindset changed, though, when we saw some of the things she did in her life. She started her own business. She became a public relations and marketing specialist by studying and learning how to do that. She wasn't formally trained in college how to do that. She just learned from the School of Hard Knocks, and her income steadily rose. And I would say it was probably about 10 years after she made that bold statement that she would purchase a yacht, that she had literally earned enough income in her business to purchase a yacht. And she's had it now for a while, and I didn't put a picture up, but I'll have to put a picture up another time of the outside of the boat and what it looks like. It's gorgeous. So they take really good care of it, and it's just something they do. And they don't live on it full time. It's just something they like to go out on, 4 or 5 days a week, or 4 or 5 days a month, not a week, 4 or 5 days a month. And it's great that, that she was able to do that. So that's just one thing that influenced me in my life, in my belief that if you set an intention with something you want, and then you take daily action towards something you want, eventually you will achieve it. Okay, isn't that powerful? That you can set an intention right now, no matter how crazy it is, and you can start taking daily action, and one day you will achieve it. I truly, truly believe that. Okay, so here's some other things we did. This is off the back of their yacht. We were doing some fishing there when we were not out. We didn't go deep sea fishing this time around. We just did it from the dock and off the back of the boat. And we were catching catfish like crazy. And this is the biggest fish that my oldest son, Ty, has ever caught. And I don't know how. We let it go, but I don't know how much it weighed. But he was so excited. It took him a while to get that in. So just some fun times. Prior to going out there, we did some canoeing. We did a float trip down the, what do you call it? The Buffalo River in Arkansas. Beautiful, beautiful river. The water was very chilly, but it was great because it was like in the upper 90s. So every now and then we'd stop and take a swim. The boys were in another canoe. So here we are all canoeing down the river. And we just had such a good time. We did some camping while we were there. Here was our tent. So we definitely were off the grid. There was no internet out there. My cell phone didn't even work. There was nothing. But it was nice just to get away. And we were out there for about 4 days. So it was just a fun way for us to connect as a family and to just enjoy each other. And, the cool thing was I didn't have to ask, anybody off for work. I just said, hey, family, let's go. And my husband's retired, so he can do pretty much whatever we want to do. And so we decided, hey, let's go. So all 4 of us took off. The boys are out of school, and we just went. And we had a fabulous time. And I was thinking about that on our road trip, about how few people truly have that freedom to just go whenever you want, and to have the income to do that, and not worry about, hey, how am I going to get paid while I'm gone? So that's what I want to share with you today is, how we are able to do these types of things, and how you could literally build a life. If you set the intention today, how you could build a life based on what you want to do. Sound pretty good? So let me check and see if you guys can still hear me, that I haven't lost you. Let me go to my chat. Yeah, Rich says freedom, that you don't have to worry about stuff. That's good. Oh, hey, Elizabeth, good to see you there. I see Charlene still there. So yeah, it's powerful, isn't it, to realize that you have the capability to engineer whatever life that you would like. So let's dig in. We're going to kind of work on this together. So I'm going to escape and go back down to my slides. So action plan. So if you want to truly build a life of freedom, either full-time or part-time, here are some steps that you want to take in order to start creating that lifestyle. Okay, so are you ready? Ready to take some notes? So the very first thing that you need to do is set an intention. Okay, so hopefully this is big enough. I'll make it a little bigger there. Set an intention. An intention is something that you want, and you have to really be specific on what you want. Yeah, one of the things I've learned from my own mentors and also from my own family is the more specific that you can be on what it is that you want to have in your life, the better it is, because then it makes it more real. If you're just generic, let me give you an example. So let's say generically you just say, I want more money. Well, you didn't say, how much you want. You didn't say what you want to use it for. I mean, how? Why do you want that? So here's a way that I believe you can set good intentions. And it really starts here. If you set a good intention, and a good intention is a very detailed intention, then you can take that and now you have a target. It's kind of like if anybody plays darts, you have to have that target in order to aim your dart at. If you didn't have the target, then you wouldn't, you throw the dart, it could go anywhere. Okay, so have a very specific target in mind, and that's your intention. So let's say you want more money. Well, here's how you narrow it down. You keep saying, why do I want that? Okay, and then once you've got down to why you want it, what's it going to give you is the next question that you don't have already. And then, what does that look like? So let me just put some notes here. Why do you want it? Okay, that's one question. What will it give you? Okay, so that's really the two main ones. So why do you want it, and what will it give you? And just keep narrowing that down. And once you've done that, you should have a very clear intention. So like in the case of my mother, she said it, she wanted a yacht. And the reason she wanted a yacht was she enjoyed being out on the water. She enjoyed fishing. She saw it as a way to bring the family together, because that's what it does. It's like my brothers and my sisters and everything else, we all like to go out there and spend time with her and my stepdad on the yacht, because it's fun. It's a great family bonding opportunity. And I mean, how many people get to do that? Not very many. So it's a great way to bring the family together. And that was one of the reasons she wanted it. And she also had an idea as to, how big it would be. It has 2 staterooms and things like that. So she was very specific on what it included, what it looked like. She had a picture that she kept as to what it looked like, the one that she wanted, and or similar to what she wanted. And she was able to find that. And she also knew approximately how much it cost. And so she had all of those details down. And she knew that she was going to get that one day, even though I will admit I was crazy. We all thought she was a little crazy at the time that she shared with the family what her intention was and why she was going to grow her own business. Okay, so be very, very specific on your intention. Now, notice one of the things you don't ask is how. Okay, you don't ask how at this point. When you're setting the intention, it's just your specific goal. It's your specific vision as to where you want to be. Okay, so once you have that, then the next thing, let me make this bigger, and I know I'm kind of doing this on the fly today, and you'll have to excuse me. Normally I have everything written out, but we actually drove back home from Dallas last night, and we got in around 2 a.m. So I'm still a little tired, but man, what a trip. All right. So then the second thing that you want to do is you want to think about, what do you enjoy doing? And what skills do you bring to the table? So we'll just put, what skills do you have? Okay. So what skills do you currently have that you enjoy? And this is important. Enjoyable skills. Okay, that you really enjoy, that might be a good way for you to create a business. Okay, so I'll give you some examples again, because I think examples help. So for instance, I love the martial arts. So one of the things I've always done ever since I was like 9 years old is I've been enrolled in some sort of karate school. All right, so I have a lot of skills in the martial arts, and I love doing it, and I love teaching others. And I see that as a way that I can share and improve others' lives. So, start writing down, skills that you have. Maybe you have a skill. Maybe you're really good with computers. Okay, so that would be a skill. Maybe, like, I know some of the people that are here that are on our hangout, like Charlene, she is incredibly good at marketing. She's, just a whiz at it. She knows all sorts of tricks and tips, and she's also good with computers, where she could, bring that to the table. And I think you enjoy doing it too, Charlene, because you get this light in your eyes when I've met you in person, when you are teaching others on how to do something. And I can tell you just excel at that. You seem to enjoy it. And then, like, for instance, I know Rich, he's really good with Jeeps, especially, mechanics and tricking them out and making them look awesome. And that's a skill that, it looks like a lot of fun. I love his Jeep. So, these are skills that you already have that you bring to the table, and hopefully you enjoy them. If you don't enjoy them, if it's something that you're doing just because you're good at it, but you don't necessarily like doing it, then look at other things that maybe you're not that skilled at, but you'd like to be because it's fun. So look at those things and try to expand on that. So I'll give you an example of one of those skills. I really like video. Okay. And about 3 years ago, I had never shot a video, like, other than like just shot something with my phone of my kids, but I'd never shot like a professional video. I didn't really know much about how to shoot good videos, but I always liked it. I thought, man, these guys and gals that are talented videographers, it's just so interesting to me. So I wanted to expand that as one of my skills. So I started studying how to be good at video. I learned some of the softwares that go along with video. I learned some tricks on how to shoot better video. I got some new equipment so that I could shoot video myself. So look at something that you enjoy, even if you're not very good at it yet, and you can expand on that and make it one of your skills. All right. Okay, so we're getting, we're narrowing down kind of your action plan. So now the next thing, once you've figured out your skill, the third thing is, what you want to do is you want to think of people in that industry that you like. So let's just put, find your market. Okay, so find your market. So this would be your industry that you're in. So let's take martial arts, for example. So obviously I like the martial arts, I like karate. So people that I want to attract are other people that like the martial arts, like karate, or maybe they want to have their children in karate. So that would be a market. Like for Rich with his Jeeps and stuff like that. He would look for people that want to trick out their Jeep, want to go on Jeep tours, want to learn how to fix things that go wrong on their Jeep. So think about other people that might have the same interest as you. Okay, same interest. And the reason I want you to think about that is because your next step is to figure out what pain points. So let me make that a step 4 here. Okay, step 4 is pain points for that market. So what I recommend you do is you go through and you list like 5 pain points, 5 areas that people that are like you have. All right, so let's use an example that I know of. So like one of my markets is I really like parenting. I love I love spending time with my kids. Especially I love parenting boys because I have 2 sons. So I know some of the challenges that come along with boys, okay? Because I have 2 of them. So I can, if I wanted to target other moms of boys, so I could think of some pain points that moms of boys have. Like one of them, it's kind of gross, but it's one of them, and that is they have a really hard time hitting the toilet in the bathroom, especially when you're potty training them and everything else. So I know that that's a pain point for moms, especially if you want a nice, clean bathroom. And also, as a mom, I like them to put the seat down. So, this is just funny, but when you think about pain points that you have and that you've solved, because I have solved that. My boys, they always put the seat down. I never go into the bathroom and the seat is up. And they have definitely gotten better about targeting, for lack of a better word. And I know some tricks that I've learned how to get them to do that. Okay, so think about pain points that your market has. Write down about 5 of them, and they can be really simple things. Like like Charlene, she did a great training for us at a mastermind I was at on LinkedIn. She's a LinkedIn expert, and there's a lot of things that I don't even know how to do on LinkedIn, but Charlene does. And she knew my pain because I couldn't figure out how to attract people to my business through LinkedIn. And she knows how to do that. And so she shared a solution. And so these are things that you can come up with is, how can you solve problems that your target market has? And if you can come up with a minimum of 5, now you're getting somewhere, and now you have a potential business. You may not even realize this, but you do. So let me give you another example that just was amazing. So one of my mentors, we were at a conference recently, and she was up on stage, and she was sharing some of these things that I'm sharing with you today. And there was a young woman that was in the audience who, when it came to this part, number 2, on what skills do you have? Enjoyable skills. The woman stood up and she was kind of, she didn't know what to say, because she said, look, I've been a stay-at-home mom for like ever. She says, I've never actually held a job. And she says, I don't know what skills I have to bring to the table. And she felt unskilled. And my mentor said to her, she says, well, what do you like doing? What do you really enjoy? And this woman says, oh, I just love dancing. And she says, well, what kind of dancing? And the woman said, well, I really like to do expressive dance. So this wouldn't be, expressive dance would be different than, say, ballet or, any type of tap dancing. It wouldn't be specialized. Expressive dance is just being free when you dance. And we had seen her at this conference dance. Every time the music came on, she was, dancing. And a lot of us were kind of giggling because she really was getting into it. And, my mentor up there said, so you like dance, you like expressive dance. She says, what do you like about it? And the woman said she liked it because it was freeing and it made her happy. And we all thought that was great. And so then my mentor said to her, do you think that there are other people out there who like expressive dance? Or better, do you think there are other people out there who would like to be more free and more happy and find a method to do that? And the woman said, well, yes. And she says, well, what kind of pain points would people who maybe are into dance, but they don't feel free or confident enough to do it? And all of a sudden she just got this big smile on her face, this young woman, and she says, yeah, there's a lot of people who wish they could not be as embarrassed about dancing and moving their body. And then my mentor said to her, she says, could you teach them in a video or in a blog post or have a coaching program on how they can get over their fear of moving their body in public and dancing. And she says, well, sure. She says, I had to get over that myself. So suddenly she had found her skill. She had found a market for her skill, and she knew some pain points that those people had. And these were people that maybe wanted to dance. They didn't know that there was another type of dance, such as expressive dance. Maybe they were shy. They wanted a way to be happier and to express themselves in a new way through dance. And I thought that was so brilliant, because literally you can take any skill, anything that you love to do, and you can find a market for that. You can turn that into a business. Isn't that powerful? I mean, it's truly, truly powerful. So I challenge you, if you're watching this today, to think of some things that you really love doing and think of a market that would love to have what you have. And then drill it down into those step-by-step pain points. Sound cool? All right. So now we're going to get really specific. I mean, these are things to get you going. This is your basic structure for your action plan. Now we're going to talk about daily actions that you can take to turn any skill into a six-figure business. Sound good? All right, you're probably thinking, what? I could turn any skill into a six-figure business? Absolutely, you can. So I'm going to share with you, if you'd like that, I'm going to share with you today how you can do that and how you can do it in less time than you might think it will take to do that. All right. Okay, so let me just check, make sure you guys are still here. Yeah. Charlene's cracking me up. She says the male species does not have good aim. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. Okay, yeah, Charlene, you're awesome. And yeah, Rich, I know. Oh, Elizabeth, I saw you there. Elizabeth is amazing. You know, Elizabeth, you have some skills there too. Elizabeth has an amazing family. And I know a lot of the people that are here live, so it makes it easier for me. Elizabeth has some special needs children, and she is an amazing, amazing mother. I see her post all the time on Facebook, and it just blows my mind, all the things she does and how active she is with her family. And she's just an incredible woman. And I think personally, Elizabeth, if you aren't doing this already, you could probably help a lot of mothers with your skills in how to work with special needs children. And I mean, all of her kids are so talented too, and beautiful, beautiful. And it would be great to have some kind of a program on that as well. All right, so let's move on here. So we're going to go step by step now on how you can create what I call a daily action plan that will help you take any industry, any skill, any market, and turn it into a six-figure business. All right, so here's the very first step, and we're going to work through this together. Your very first step is whatever it is that you want to master. So if it's dance, for example, like the example I just gave, you need to be reading, listening, or watching things that are going to help you to be better at the thing you want to do. So for this dancer, she needs to be reading books on expressive dance. She needs to be watching courses on expressive dance. Perhaps taking classes or listening to audios or podcasts or things like that on how you can work with people that are maybe shy and embarrassed about dancing in public, and tying that in, figuring out a way to use that mastery that she's learning to tie that in so that she can share that as a way to help other people. Okay, so your first step is you want to find books. Books are one of the best things you can do, be it audio books or written books or magazines or videos. So let's say media. Find media, because it could be video, books, etc. But find media or information, classes that you can take to become a master. Because a master is somebody who becomes an expert, and every day they work towards improving the skills that they have so that they can be better than they were the day before. And you'll find you can find information out there. Okay, there is so many people that are out there in every single type of industry that you can find additional ways to improve yourself and get better at whatever it is that you love doing. Okay, like for martial arts, I'm constantly taking additional classes myself. I go to seminars that other instructors host all over the world. I've been to Canada, and I've been to Bali, and I've also been to New York City and Washington, D.C. They have a big symposium there for master martial artists, and I attend that once a year so that I can improve what I do and improve how I teach and become even better. And the same thing goes for my internet marketing. I just got back from a conference and I learned some additional things that are going to help me to be a better master at my craft. So that's your first thing you can do, okay, for your daily action. Once you found that, so step 2 is and I'm going to give you time frame here, 30 to 60 minutes a day, per day, you're going to do that thing. So you're going to read, watch, or take a class. Okay, so you're going to do that. The easiest is probably reading. That's what I tend to do if you want to become a master more quickly, is to read. So this is what you want to do. So find information, and once you found it, every day, for a minimum of 30 minutes, you're going to learn more about how you can be a master. Now, one of the recommendations that my own mentor gave me is they said, do your reading first thing in the morning or whenever it is that you get up. Some people are night people. When you first wake up, do your reading, because when you do that, it sets the whole course for your day. All right, so I'm going to duplicate this slide so it's not so big. You're seeing me in action right here, how you do my PowerPoint. So let's go to step 3. Okay, so we've got our 30 to 60 minutes. So now here's step 3. If you want to have a life of freedom and you want to be known as the expert or master in that, step 3 is you're going to take 15 minutes. So we'll say 15 minutes, maybe 20, okay, but 15 minutes, try to strive for that, to create a video, audio, or blog post on what you learned. Okay, this is daily. These are daily actions. So I want you to imagine this for a moment. If you wanted to be this dancer like I spoke of earlier, what you would do is after you took your class, maybe she goes to an expressive class, or maybe she learns about coaching others, take one nugget that you learned from that 30 to 60 minutes and create a video from that. So she could create a dance video or share a personal mindset video or audio with them on how they can overcome a fear of doing expressive dance. Okay, so if you do that every day, you're going to start building a library of training that people are interested in. Okay, so one of the recommendations that my mentor says, video is one of the best ways to really get your message out there. Okay, if you're not comfortable with video, then of course you could do one of the other options, but video is so good, and here's why. Not everybody in the world is going to be able to meet you face to face, but when they see a video, it's as if they did, and they feel more connected to you. They're going to trust you more. They're going to like you more, especially if you're teaching them something that they really want to learn, and you're going to become the expert to them on that industry, on that skill set. And that's what you want. You want to start creating a following of people that really love to see you on video, really love to see what you're doing, love learning from you. Okay, so that's step 3. So let's go to step 4. Okay, so step 4 is you're going to take that video, audio, or blog, and you're going to make sure that it's posted. Okay, so maybe you wrote it, but it's not out on the web. So you've got to post that, and you're going to it'll probably take you about 10 minutes. Because if you already created it, if you've already written it, then now you just got to post it. 10 minutes to post your video, blog, or audio. Okay, I'm really breaking this down in small chunks because I want you guys to see that you can do this. Okay, you can do this every day, and within 90 days, you can start creating a really nice income. Okay, and I'm going to explain that here in just a minute as well, but take 10 minutes to post your video, your blog post, or audio. And if it's a video, upload it to YouTube. YouTube is one of the best places you can do that. You can also take that video and embed it into a blog post, which is like an online journal where people can find you and realize that you're the expert in that. Okay, so now we're going to do another slide here. So I hope you guys are still with me. Duplicate slide. Okay, let's go to step 5. Okay, all right, so with step 5, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to do what we call syndicate your blog, video, audio. Okay, syndication means sharing what you posted online with the world. Now, a lot of people miss this step altogether. Oh, and you can share, I'll go into detail, sorry. I was getting ahead of myself here. I'm looking at my notes. Syndicate means sharing what you have with the world. Most people miss this because they'll record a video and they'll post it to YouTube and boom, they feel like they're done. Or they'll write their blog post, they'll post it up on their blog site, and it's published, okay, they're done. And then they'll walk away from their computer. Well, you're missing a huge, huge portion of that. Okay, what you want to do is you want to get it out to more eyeballs, because if you just post it on your blog, chances are your blog does not get tens of thousands of people that come to it every day. Okay, so there's just too much out there on the internet. So in order to get more eyeballs over to what you're doing, you need to share or syndicate your content with more popular websites. Okay, so what this will take you about, I don't know, 10 to 15 minutes a day. What you're going to do is you're going to post it to social media such as Facebook, share it on Facebook. If it's a blog post, make sure it's publicly shared. Don't just share it with just your friends, because you want to attract more people to your business. So share it on social media such as Facebook. Obviously, if you got YouTube up, make sure it's posted there. You can also share it to Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, of course, Google+, Tumblr. There's a variety of websites out there where you can syndicate. One of the tips that I got, a big tip here, is when you're writing about something or you're shooting a video, if you quote somebody who is more famous than you, maybe they're a bigger master right now than you are, then what you can do is you can, hold on, my son's here. Hey, Jack. What you can do is you can put a blog post in your blog post and say in your blog post, hey, I'm quoting, Joe Blow, who's an amazing dancer who I learned some of these techniques from. And I'm sticking with the dancing theme here. And then what you do is after you've put that in your blog or you've said it in your video, you go to Joe Blow's website. And if you look on anybody's website, you can find an area where you can contact them. And you send them an email or a message and you say, hey, Joe, I just wanted to let you know I really admire your work. And recently I quoted you in my blog, in my video, in my audio. And I thought it might be something you'd want to share with your audience. If so, here's a link. And once again, I just want to say I really appreciate you. Thanks for all you do. Okay, did you guys get that? So basically, you're going to contact people that you are quoting or getting value from that are bigger than you are, and then send them your content. And they may not always reference you, but if you do that enough, like especially if you really like this, I'm just using Joe Blow, but if you really like this Joe person and they're an incredible dancer in the industry and you keep quoting them, it's hard to be ignored. Eventually they will respond and they will say, hey, thanks for all the free publicity you're giving me. And then what you want to happen is them to direct their audience to your post, to your video, to your audio, to your blog, because now you're going to start getting additional followers that, you know, if you're similar to Joe and you do something similar, they're going to be interested in what you're doing as well. All right, and you can quote authors of books. You can quote people's, other people's websites. Especially, make sure it's somebody that's, that's really famous. You can post somebody that, that has a really big Facebook page. Maybe there was something that they put out that you really admired. You could contact them and just say, hey, I quoted something, or I shared something from your Facebook page. I just wanted to say thank you, and here's a link to my blog. So this is just another way, another big tip that I learned on how you can syndicate your content and get more eyeballs on what you're doing. Okay? All right, so that's step 5. Now we're getting into step 6, and we're almost done here. For those of you that have been with me here, we're almost at the top of the hour for when I end this. So what I wanted to share is with step 6, this is where you're going to probably spend the most time, and that is you're going to market your list. You're going to market to your list. And what this means, and this will be 30 minutes, well, I can't type 3 today, 30 minutes or more, depending on your time. If you're working a full-time job and you're incorporating this to build a business, then I would say a minimum of 30 minutes. If you are, if you're part-time, that would be what I would say is 30 minutes to market your list. I'm going to explain how you do that. The other thing is, if you're doing this full-time and you don't have a job, I would spend a minimum of 1 hour marketing and driving traffic. So what do I mean by this? I mean, you're going to run paid ads. Okay, that's one thing you could do. You're going to, ways, there's different things you can do for paid ads, like pay-per-click, which is through Facebook or Google. You can also do what's called solo ads. But whatever your industry is, you want to drive more traffic to your page. And the other thing you're going to be doing is emailing your content. You say, well, who do I email it to? On anything you do, you need to have some kind of what we call a capture page where you're collecting people's emails. Okay, so you need to have that on your blog. You need to have a link on your video within the description that says, click here to get updates on my next blog post. Click here to receive an update on my next video. And that click should take them to a form where they enter in their email address in order to get on your list. So you want to be emailing your content to your list every day. Okay. And this is so important when you're first starting out because you really want to create that audience. You want to build that audience up. And when you're emailing them, you also want to have the opportunity to send them a sales link every 4th email or so. Okay, so marketing also includes sales. So what you're going to do is initially you're just building a list. So I'll do another slide here really quickly. But you want to also have a sales link. This is 2 things you're going to need. Is a sales link, which it goes to a place where they can enter in their credit card information and actually purchase something from you. The other thing you need is a capture page, and that's where they enter in their email. And then you're going to collect those emails and start sending out daily or every other day emails to these folks. Some people, depending on your list, they may not want to receive emails from you every day. Okay, so you have to kind of test that. So you may want to do it every other day, once a week. Depends on your list. Test it and see, if you lose people, if you email them daily, then you're emailing them too much. Okay, if you're emailing them weekly and your list is not growing and you're not making any sales, then you need to email them more often. Okay, so marketing to your list is the biggest part about this. Is once you've got all this other stuff done, you need to get out there and start sharing what you're doing. And paid ads is one of the quickest ways. There's some other ways that you can share what you're doing. You can send out press releases to industry-specific organizations. Offer to do a speech. Once you get more confident, offer to do a speech for different speaking organizations. and you would get paid to do that. This is where you put your brainstorming hat on how you can market. And if you are stuck and you're listening to me right now and you're saying, I have no idea how to even market, then what the best advice I can give you is to get somebody as your mentor who is a marketer, who can help you, who can say, okay, here's how we're going to get your information out there to the world so that you can start building your list and getting sales. Okay. All right. So all of the stuff that I've talked about so far, you can do in 2 to 3 hours per day. And the last step is to walk away. So step 7, if I duplicate one of these here, duplicate slide. Step 7 is you want to walk away from your computer. And the reason I say this, and this is so important, is I think a lot of folks, when we start an online business specifically, we get in the habit of not getting away from our computer enough. And then what happens is you don't have good content to share because you're burnt out. You'll get burnt out very quickly if you are just constantly in front of your computer and you start messing around. This is what will happen. If you're at your computer for longer than 4 hours, you will self-sabotage your business. You'll start playing around on Facebook, playing video games, surfing on the web, and you're not going to get anything done. You'll think you're getting stuff done because you're in front of your computer, but you're not. So what I recommend you do is you walk away, you go get some exercise after you've done those daily action steps, or go spend some time with the people you love. Get out there, shoot photos of things that you enjoy, or go and do the things that you enjoy specifically so that you are revised, revitalized, and ready to take action the next day. All right, so how do you monetize all of this stuff? And this is the last part, and we're probably going to go about 5 minutes over, just to let you know. So the next thing is, how do you turn that into that $100,000 business that I was just talking about? So I'm going to say monetize. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. Okay, number one, you're going to be creating this great content. What you're going to do is you're going to save that content, your best content that gets the most good. So content is king. So you want to save your content, and the ones that get the most traffic, you can package that up and make it so that the only way that people can get to those best content, like maybe you have 6 or 7 videos that are super, super good, is if they pay you to access that. Okay, so you can sell your content. Let me just put that down. Sell content. Okay, the second thing you can do is you can host a class. Okay, and setting prices for these is going to be dependent on your market. What I recommend that you do is when you're selling content and packaging it up or hosting a class, is that you have 3 price points. A low price point. A low price point would be anything that's $50 or less. Okay, a mid-level price point, which would be $100 to $500. Okay, and then a high-level price point, which would be anything over $1,000 for them to access it. Okay, so obviously your mid-level could go up to 1,000, I suppose, depending on your product. But here's what you're going to start thinking. Think like a business person. Okay, you have become a master, number one, in your industry. That's your goal here. Now you're going to take that and you're going to create content or classes or webinars. You can do these classes in person, or you could do them as a webinar. Okay. Okay, so you're going to create that, and you can sell tickets to that. You can sell seats in that industry. And selling, it doesn't require you to be a salesperson. You can literally create a page and put a little button on your website or on your blog that says, hey, I'll be hosting a webinar next week, and I'm going to be teaching a class on interpretive dance or whatever you want to call it. And charge a fee and say, hey, if you just want the one-time class, this is how much it'll cost. If you want my 6 classes, this is how much it'll cost. If you want my 6 classes plus a personal coaching call, or to come and do it in person with me, this is how much it cost. So you would have 3 price points in different levels. So this is really how you start making money from your passions. And literally you can do it from anything. And there's many more ways to monetize it than just this. I'll give you one more because I know we're running out of time. You could host a mastermind or seminar. Okay, so this would be an in-person event where people come to you from all over in order to attend one of your classes. Okay, actually, let's make it 5. You could write a book. And I'll give you a tip. I have a hangout that I did not too long ago on how to write a book in a week or less. And it's not as hard as you might think. You say, how can you possibly do that in 1 week? So go check out some of my past hangouts, and you can turn it into a book, which you could either sell it or you could give it away as part of your sales plan in order to get them to register for one of these other things. Maybe you give them your book for free when they purchase something else, right? So I know I'm kind of going over. I want to wrap things up here. So just to review, let me go back through our daily actions. So number 1, find media, info, or classes that you can take to continue to become a master in whatever it is you love. Number 2, you can, for 30 to 60 minutes a day, you're going to take that and you're going to do a daily reading or daily watch if it's a video, or take that class. So you want to do that 30 to 60 minutes every day. Then you're going to take 15 minutes to create a video, audio, or blog post on what you just learned. Step 4, you're going to use 10 minutes to post your video, blog, or audio so that it's live on the internet. Okay. Then step 5, you're going to share what you posted. Okay, and it doesn't do you any good if you don't share it. So you're going to share it with as a blog, video, audio. It's going to take you about 10 to 15 minutes to reach out to more popular blogs or sites and share with them what you're doing and post these to social media sites. Okay, and then you're going to market your list. You're going to run some paid ads, pay-per-click or solo ads. You're going to email your content to your list. So any emails that you've collected, and initially you're not going to have any, but as you grow, you'll do that. You're going to make sure you have a sales page where you can sell stuff, and you're going to have a capture page on your blog, near your videos, etc., where people can enter in their emails. And then after that, you're going to walk away and go do something fun with your family, spend some time, go meditate, whatever it takes, so that you're revitalized and refreshed and can start making strides in creating a successful business. And then we talked about monetization. I'm not going to go through that all again, but that's the way that you turn any passion into a successful business. Now I know a lot of this is oversimplified, but that's really what it takes. And the most important thing is consistency. So I'm going to wrap things up. Let me flip things back around here. All right, I hope that you got some value out of today's lesson, and consistency is really the key. So you probably looked at this list, and I hope that you looked at it like I did and said, this is obtainable. This is something I really could do. I could do the little steps that I just shared with you daily. If you can do those steps daily for 90 days straight without missing a beat, even if you are having a bad day, even if you're sick, if you can do those steps, which will take you 2 to 3 hours maximum per day, then I guarantee you, you're going to see income start coming in at the end of 90 days, maybe even sooner, probably sooner if you're consistent. Okay. If you don't believe me, then let's reach out to me and I'd be happy to chat with you and share with you step by step the business that I'm in and many of my students are in that allows us to earn income and already have a product pre-built for us. So we have that on the side, and in the meantime, we're building other businesses around our passions. So that's really what I do. That's how I grow my own business, is I grow my karate school with my online business and vice versa. So it's been really, really great to chat with you today. I hope that you have a wonderful week. Glad to have you here. And if there's any questions, I'll be answering those down below in the chat. Make it a great day. See you next week for the Down and Dirty at 1:30.